Welcome, traders and investors, to the Meet Damien live stream. Today, I'm wearing a green shirt, my Boston Celtics. I don't know if you guys kind of see it like here. I'll just do the big screen right here. But yeah, I'm wearing my Boston Celtics green shirt right now because there's so much green in the market. Because we got a possible peace deal going on here between the United States, Iran, and Israel. Which could end up being just another 60-day ceasefire, and then they start launching missiles and rockets at each other like they did 2 months ago when the 60-day ceasefire came into being, and then then what? Then there was no ceasefire, and they started shooting at each other again. So I don't know. It looks like we're not going to be shooting at each other again. So that's what the markets are celebrating right now, with Bitcoin being up to like $67,000. How high did we get up to? Like $67,254. We came up to what I was expecting to be resistance, which was the 67K area for Bitcoin. That's where that 21 EMA, this white line's at. Okay, you guys got to add that to your charts right now. 21 EMA. That's literally what we came up to. We spiked above it a little bit, but then we closed below it. We got to get above this 21 EMA for me to become even more bullish here on Bitcoin and crypto. Of course, I said in previous live streams, for me to say it's no longer a bear market and that we're actually going into the next bull run here for Bitcoin, we got to get above this red line here. This is the 200-day simple moving average sitting at 77,397. Get above that level, and I'll be like, all right, we might be in the beginning of the new bull cycle that'll last another 3 years for Bitcoin, like it normally does. We usually get one bad year, 12 bad months of downward price action and bearish price action with Bitcoin right after hitting the new all-time high. We hit the new all-time high in October of last year. Everybody knows that. Everybody's well aware of that. We're about like 8 months through that, right? October of this year is when we would expect the bear market to actually be over, if Bitcoin's going to follow what it's done in the last two bear markets, where it lasted like about a year. Okay, we're only 8 months in. Okay, but we could end up doing what we did back here in like April and May, right, where we had a nice little run up until we get up to that 200-day moving average, and then we get rejected off the red line. We might be beginning to start to do something like that, where we start climbing right back up to that 200-day moving average at 77K. By the time we get down there, it might be like 75 or 74K, but that red line is a moving average, and it is a moving target here. And I would expect that to be the level where we got to beat later on in the future. If this is going to be a rally for real, if this is like the new bull market, we're going to skyrocket to new all-time highs. The first order of business is getting above that 200-day moving average, which we haven't been above, right, since November 3rd, if I can remember correctly. November 3rd was when we lost it for good here, right? We lost that 200-day moving average. Try to come up to it, never could get back up to it again. Try to come up to it. We got rejected off the 100-day moving average in January. It came down. And then here in April, I was like, here in May, I was like, oh, okay, maybe we could possibly be bullish here. But then they started shooting at each other again here with Iran and Israel. And I don't care what you guys say, the news does affect us. If you're gonna say the news doesn't affect the markets, then what the hell happened today? Okay, and this weekend, the Iran war does affect the markets, okay, and it affected crypto, okay, just like it affected it back here in May. We also had like a lot of optimism, enthusiasm going into the middle of May because of the Clarity Act. Once people realized that, oh shoot, that's just the Senate committee, they have to actually vote in the Senate floor to actually pass the Clarity Act. Then people kind of realized, oh man, I guess we got a little bit too ahead of ourselves here. And then the missiles and rockets started flying again, with Iran, Israel, and United States here. And yeah, we saw markets come back to rally again. Okay, and the rally right now is we might not be seeing missiles, rockets, and bombs being shot at each other, and that's good for the markets. That's good for Bitcoin. That's good for crypto. It's good for the stock market. The stock market had a good day. SpaceX had a good day again. It's only the second day of it in its infancy as an IPO here, Okay, but SpaceX up 19% today, almost getting up as high as $200. Let's see how high SpaceX got here real quick. $193. So it ended the day near the highs for the day. Okay, so we'll pay attention to that once this thing starts making a lot more sense on the charts. But let me just go over SpaceX real quick. I did do a Fibonacci, and I did on the 1 hour chart here, and I was like, all right, so we got up to like $176, and then we came back down, and then I said, if SpaceX, if SpaceX company is going to continue being bullish, there's a 1272 Fibonacci at $184, which we hit earlier this morning already, and then there's a 1618 at $193, and oh my God, guys, look at that! Would you look at that? Wow, the 1618 Fibonacci Fib extension says $193 is a level to look for SpaceX, and then look at the price right now for SpaceX. It's at $192. How does that work? That is crazy. It's almost as if this Fibonacci stuff actually works. Okay, so we got the 1618 and $193, and we already hit that today. So what's the next target for SpaceX? Next target would be the 2618 at $220. About maybe like a 10-15% move up in price is what SpaceX could do here. So yeah, that's the next target I'm looking for SpaceX. So SpaceX doing pretty good. Crypto doing pretty good. What the hell is not doing good is oil. The price of oil dropping down to like $80 a barrel here. Okay, we saw it get as low earlier this morning. $80.36. Okay, we didn't actually go below $80 here, but man, oh man, oh man. Let's just look at the oil real quick here. Okay. Oil has a 2-day moving average at $74. That could be a level to look for. But $80 is a 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level to look for. So we already came down to a deep retracement level. If oil continues being bearish, right, then we could see the 0.236 level come into play, where there might be some support at $70 here for oil. Okay. But that is a level also to be looking for oil to the downside. And I drew this Fibonacci from $119 is where oil topped out at back in like March, to the $55 level that it started off at back in like January. So those are levels to look for here. The Fibonacci downside target for oil is going to be about like $70 here if $80 doesn't hold. And then of course upside targets would be about $87. We'll see if we can actually reclaim that level for oil. But yeah, let's get back into cryptocurrency world here. We saw Bitcoin hit a 21 EMA, that exponential moving average, this white line here, at around like 67K earlier today. If I throw in the VRVP, it was a level that I looked at with you guys last week. I said 67 to 69K is an area to be looking for on the VRVP indicator here. This is that little heat map looking thing here to the right. And you'll see that there is high volume between like 67K going up to like 69K. Right now it's showing like a point of control here at 68K, 68,200. So we're coming up on some resistance here. And it's basically like everybody that bought here in February and March. You just look left. If you don't know how to use a VRVP indicator, you can just eyeball it by looking at the charts here. You can see that there was a lot of sideways trading action going on here. Support and resistance is at like 67 to 69K here for Bitcoin. So that's what I see here for Bitcoin. We'll see if it continues the momentum to higher prices here. Next moving average target, if we're going to still use moving averages here, is the 100-day moving average at 72,600. That could be an issue here for Bitcoin. It's also kind of like right with this 50-day moving average. I feel like the green line and that blue line converging on each other could provide some resistance for Bitcoin in the near future here. So maybe we do see 72K later on this week, going into later on this month. And I did a lot of talking there. I had to drink my mango drink there. Let me get into the chat here, see what you guys have to say about what I just said there. Thank you, King Forex, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Let's see, who else is in here? Edomira64, thank you for following me here on TikTok. I'm not sure if I said your name right. I kind of read that fast. Thank you, Trevor, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. All right, you guys got the real meat Damien in the live stream right now. This is Damien. I'm going to show you guys here on TikTok here in my face. Okay, don't forget to click the top left profile picture of me in the red shirt. That is my profile picture. It'll take you to my TikTok channel, and you'll be following the actual real Meet Damien. There are some people trying to pretend to be me. I didn't know I was that special until people started pretending to be me and trying to scam my followers here. But don't get scammed. Make sure you get the real Meet Damien here, and follow me right now. I'm literally live right now on camera. You can see me here. Look at the charts here with you guys. Appreciate that. Make sure that you guys get the actual real Meet Damien here. Lab says June historically marks a bottom. July grain dump into the fourth quarter. I usually hear people say sell in May and go away, which kind of made sense, seeing how the beginning of June started here for Bitcoin and even the stock market. But maybe we actually seen the worst of it right now. You know, the bulls are going to say that Bitcoin did a double bottom at 59K. You know, they're going to say that that's the bear market low for Bitcoin, 59,800 back here in February. And then how low? We got down to 59,082 on June 5th. The bulls are going to call that a double bottom, okay? If that's a double bottom, let me get rid of the moving averages here and make it look like a naked chart. But if this is a double bottom here on Bitcoin, you just measure from the top and between the two bottoms here, down to that bottom at 59K, right? Somewhere around there, okay? You take this measure move, right? You take this measure move, you put it on top of the top in between the two bottoms, and it gives you an idea as like how high Bitcoin could possibly go. And it's saying that we could see $106,000 Bitcoin, that blue number right there, in the future if this is an actual double bottom here. And we'll see if it is an actual double bottom, and if it is, it has a lot of credence and credibility because it is on the higher time frame. The daily chart here shows Bitcoin doing a double bottom at 59K. Now, I want to see Bitcoin start climbing its way up and actually make a higher high. We got to get above higher than what we did here in May. We got up to like $82,800 here on WEEX Exchange. If we can get above that $82,800 area there, then you're now making a case of making higher highs. And hopefully you're making higher lows to get up to those higher highs. And you can run with that, and you could be like, all right, Bitcoin is actually getting bullish here. If we actually get back up to 82K, that would actually put us above the 2-day moving average as well, right? Let me go ahead and I'm throwing the wrong one. The red line, if we get above this red line, this 2-day moving average at 77K, I myself would call it a bull market for Bitcoin, yeah. If we can get above 77K, and if we get above 82K, 82,800, then you're also making a higher high than what you did here in May. So that would create more of a bull case for Bitcoin to go to higher prices, and then maybe you might see that double bottom target of 106K, almost 107K here. Just something to play with. You know, the chart pattern guys, they'll tell you that that's what could be in play here for Bitcoin. They'll be looking for that target. And if you don't believe me, just go on Investopedia. You know, you look it up yourself, like how to measure the double bottom move here. How high could a double bottom actually go? And I just showed you there on the charts here how to do the double bottom, right? You just take the move between the bottom and the top of in between the two bottoms. You take that measure move, right? That yellow line you put on top of the top in between the two bottoms here. And yeah, it's saying like 106K, somewhere up there, okay? So maybe we are going to see some good things here for Bitcoin, but I think it's all dependent upon that Iran Middle East deal, okay? If things start falling apart, if they don't actually sign on the dotted line, remember guys, they have to actually sign on the dotted line. They're supposed to be doing the peace deal, the actual signing on Friday. If something happens between now and then, or if they get cold feet, if Israel doesn't go along with the plan, you know, Israel might decide not to sign it. Okay, Iran might decide not to sign it. If they don't actually sign it on Friday, then this will be for nothing here. Lab says, in your opinion, any rally right now should be faded with expectation lower. Yes, I mean, it's your opinion. I still think we have to be wary and the market's going to tell us what we need to do next. Right now, I think the market is telling us that we actually did a double bottom at 59K. So you can put your stop losses at like 59K, because if that is the bottom, then guess what? That's the bottom. Your stop loss is not going to get hit. So I think it might be safe to put your stop loss near the double bottom here at 59K, or if you want to be safe, you put it at 58K. We could always come back to 59K and make it a triple bottom. That is a another chart pattern to look for, is a triple bottom, okay? But if you start, doing a triple bottom, then you're knocking on the door of 59K, and you're actually threatening to go lower if you actually go back down to 59K. And if we go lower, there is a level to look for that I've spotted here at 52K, around here in February 2024. That's the price that Bitcoin was trading at. 52K is my next level below 59K that I'm looking for. But then the other level that I'm looking for Bitcoin is 42K. You got a lot of sideways trading action going on here in like December 2023, going into January, February 2024. That's a better support level where Bitcoin should get support at 42K. I myself, I have a buy limit order at $42,069 because I figured I could fit 420 and 69 in the same buy limit order. So why wouldn't I do that? Okay. So yeah, I have a buy limit order. If Bitcoin does go down $42,069, I like to get filled, right? I know there are some other people out there that want to get filled at 42,069, right? 69, what a great number, right? All right, enough with the jokes. Sometimes I think I'm funny. I see D2 Miami is in the chat. Good to see you, D2 Miami. And let me check out my YouTube, guys. Sometimes they show up to the party, sometimes they don't. Let's see if they're in here. We got DZ in the chat here. DZ says, Boston Celtics owners is Asian. Had no idea. Dude's hella loaded. Okay. And then DZ says, can we look at useless and bio? Oh, shoot. What did I do with my marker? Oh, there it is. I see it. All right. So I'll write down those two requests there. I do got a possible phone call coming in. I do run a rental car business, and one of my renters is trying to rent a car. So I'm expecting that phone call in the next 5 to 10 minutes here, guys. So I might have to mute the volume. You guys might have to listen to the music in the meantime. But I do have a phone call to take in the next few minutes here. But we got to look at useless and bio. There's a couple of requests here. DZ says, Trump going after Gavin, both scumbags. How Gavin made $250 a year and bought a $2 million house. Bitcoin bottom out, bro. Calling it like 5 months ago. I don't know, DZ. Sometimes I ask myself, how did I buy $1 million house myself, I guess the numbers they work out. As long as he's getting cash flow, then I guess he can afford a $10 million house. Did he have a co-signer? Who knows? Maybe his wife also makes $250K too. I don't know. But yeah, I get why you're wondering why Gavin Newsom has a $10 million house with only 250 grand. And then DZ says, Bitcoin bottom out, bro. Calling it like 5 months ago. Wait. Oh no, DZ, no, you did not say Bitcoin bottom out, guys. I'm afraid that we might be going down to lower prices because DZ said that Bitcoin bottom out, and usually I like to counter trade DZ because he gets very emotional sometimes. So if he thinks we bottom out, then I think we might have to go lower here, guys. I like to tease DZ. I like to get on him. But no, DZ was saying on the Discord that that SpaceX got way too ahead of itself and that it was not a strong IPO. And I was like, yes, DZ is saying that SpaceX ain't gonna go higher. That means SpaceX is gonna go higher, and sure enough, it did today. So, I'm a little bit disappointed that DZ doesn't think Bitcoin can go any higher. Because if he did think that, then it would probably go higher. But DZ's thinking that Bitcoin bottom out now, and that has me afraid that we're going to see lower prices here for Bitcoin if he's saying that. You got to do the opposite of DZ. Nicole Owens, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Rocky says, what does the news say? Well, the news says that we're positive here in the markets. Up until Friday, we got to see if we're actually going to get that actual peace deal in writing. But the markets are going to front run it, and that's what we're seeing right now is a lot of front running, a lot of people bidding up crypto, a lot of sideline money coming in saying, hey, maybe 59K was the bottom here for Bitcoin, and they're not shooting each other. And if they're not shooting each other, then maybe they can open the Strait of Hormuz, and then the oil prices can go down, and then people can afford gasoline again, and they can afford maybe to buy crypto instead of putting it all in their gas tank. They can actually have a little extra money to spend by not putting all their money at the gas pump, and you might see some crypto prices going up because of that. Thank you, Arun Kapoor, for liking the live here. We got 330 likes here. Let's see if we can get up to 1,000 likes here, guys. I don't think that should be too hard before the live stream is over. Let's see. Nicole says, Lab, you're going to pay $5,000 for the first two to message. Oh, Nicole, don't be like that. Nicole, I have to mute you if that's what you're going to do here. There is no free advertising here. You got to be a channel sponsor in order for you to advertise here on the Meet Damien live stream here. Yeah, you can't advertise for free here. I'm going to have to mute you. You can still watch me, though. You just can't talk anymore. No one's going to be hearing you anymore. Rocky says, you thought Trump made a deal? They announced the possibility of a deal here. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. TikTok just restricted my live stream again. I'm not sure why. They're saying that I'm being suspicious now. So, whatever. Let's see. D2 Miami, thank you for liking the live. Yeah, Trump announced that there could be a deal on Friday. They haven't signed anything yet. It's supposed to be signed on Friday in Switzerland. That's what they're going to do. That's the news for today. Dawn wants to take a look at beta stock. All right, let me get to the request here, guys. Arjun says, what is a good call or put to do for options tomorrow? You're new to it. Oh, man, Arjun. I can't really give you that last minute data there. Do you want to just maybe look at the S&P 500? I think last time you looked at the SPX and you were trying to figure out if it was going to go up or down. And I showed you, I think on Friday I showed that the S&P 500 had momentum to continue going up to higher levels, and sure enough, that's what it did this morning. All right, yeah. Let me get into this request here. Guys, just a warning. I'm expecting a phone call, so my live stream might get paused. And for my YouTube guys, my live stream, I'll just mute myself so I can take the phone call. But I have a rental car customer that's renting the car at this late of an hour. Yeah, I know. But there was a last minute rental. They need the car. All right. Anyways, looking at useless here on Coinbase Exchange. And is this good data here? Yeah, this is this thing actually trading on Coinbase right now? I want to see another exchange here, maybe on Kraken. Oh, there it is. I think this is the phone call here, guys. I got to take this phone call here. I'm gonna have to pause the live stream for a second. Sorry there. Hold on a second.
It's all good, Damien.
All right, guys, back with you. Let me see. Let me get my TikTok guys here. I might have. Oh, sorry, guys. I had to pause the live stream there for a few seconds there. Renter just couldn't find the key that I left in the car. So he had trouble. He had trouble finding the key. It's like, you know, whatever. Anyways, we're back here. We're looking at useless on the daily chart here. Currently trading at 0.076 pennies here, up at 1.69%. And useless. What have you done here? I see that we got a long signal on my signal indicator saying that we should be long in useless, and that came in last Friday. Nice to see. You also saw yourself close right above that 200-day moving average, that red line there. Okay, okay. And now we've just been getting green, 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 just like my shirt here with the Boston Celtics. And we're above the 21 EMA. So this thing is more bullish than Bitcoin, I'll tell you that, because it is above all of the moving averages here, where Bitcoin is only, what, above the 21 EMA, and all the other moving averages are above it. So useless coin, looking more bullish than Bitcoin. at this moment. But that's after, you know, useless had seen better days here. Of course, in October of last year, we've seen what useless get as high as 42 cents at one point here. What was that? 45 cents? And now you're trading at 7 cents. So yeah, I mean, useless already had its own version of a bear market, and now it's trying to do the beginning of a bull run here by getting above the 2-day moving average. That's good to see. I would love to see Bitcoin do this at some point. Get above that red line. Get above the 2-day moving average, just like useless. Looks like useless is getting ahead of Bitcoin right here. Anyways, what do we got here for useless? How high could we possibly go? I'm gonna like zoom out here. I'm gonna probably be saying 10 cents, 11 cents here, but let me throw on the VRVP indicator. See what the VRVP indicator has to say about levels to look for. And right now I'm looking at value area high sitting at 9.5 cents here on useless coin. Okay, that is the level that I think we need to be paying attention to and trying to take profit if we have profits here. Although I do see there's some high volume here at 7 point, kind of at pretty much where we're at right now. There's already high volume here at 0.077 pennies here. Once you get past 0.077, it gets a little bit easier to go to higher prices, and then you might see that 9.5 cent level there for useless. So mark that on your charts there. Mark that on your charts there, DZ. Okay, that's your level to look for. And then after that, I mean, can you get above what you did here in, what was it, June 3rd? 11 cents. So 9.5 cents and 11 cents are your targets to the upside. And of course, anything after that, it's going to be gravy. But we'll have to look at this coin one more time here to see if it's still going to be bullish or not. Okay. Let me just give you one more indicator here to see if we have the momentum to go to higher prices. We got the MACD indicator showing selling pressure dying down. And we're about to get, looks like a MACD crossover where the blue line is about to cross the orange line to the upside. I like seeing that. That's good to see. And then what else we got? We got another momentum indicator saying that the momentum is going to the upside. Green buy dot here on Saturday. I think it's all systems go for higher prices here for useless. Yeah, you might see useless actually hit that 9.5 cent target and then hit maybe 11 cents like it did in on June 3rd. All right, Dawn, I didn't forget about you, Dawn. I know you made a request here for beta stock, and then I had to pause the live stream. I'm glad you're still in the live stream here. I know I lost a bunch of people there because I was dealing with a renter, and he had trouble finding the key to get into one of my cars that I got that I'm renting out. And the funny thing is, he's still looking for the key right now. I gotta go double check. But he's in a push to start, so the key's in the car. He just doesn't know where in the car it is. Anyways, Dawn says you got money in America 250 for fun. It's been running up. More interested in beta though. All right, let's look at beta for my new friend here, Dawn. Thank you for coming in the live stream and following me here, Dawn. We gotta look at the beta. Beta Technologies on the New York Stock Exchange, or is it Beta Drug Company? There's Beta Drugs. I don't think that's what you want. And then there's Beta Technologies. If you could just confirm with me, I'm thinking you want the Beta Technologies on the New York Stock Exchange. Beta Tech. All right, thank you for the clarification there. All right, so we're looking at Beta Technologies at $16.66. Let me take off the VRVP for now. We'll look at it later, but I want to use just the moving averages here. I'm just trying to see what this thing has done. Where is the 2-day? Has this thing been around? Hasn't really been around to have a 2-day moving average. It started trading here in November 4th of last year on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's been going down and to the right. However, now it's not really going down so much. It's just going to the right and making ever so slightly higher lows here. Okay, that's good to see. However, this was a little bit weird. You kind of did make a lower low here on May 19th. But this was once again a classic double bottom, or the W shape. You can think of W as winning, right? And you've seen it dig. You did see it go up to higher prices there. It probably didn't play out on the measured move on the double bottom, but it did make a higher high. You got on June 3rd here up to like 1975 here. However, my signal indicator said you should short beta, or at least, you know, you can interpret it as like selling your stock, or maybe if you don't want to sell your stock, maybe take put options on it. or sell some call options, either one. And yeah, you got a few red days after that short signal came in. But now you're getting a long signal, and it came in today. So you might be seeing some good days ahead of you for Beta Technologies. Maybe it might be time to take profit on the short, close out those call options that you might have sold, you know, take profit on those put options if you did that, and then get into some call options to the upside, or just buy some more stock if need be. You do got moving averages here that could provide resistance. You got the 100-day moving average at 1758. Could provide resistance there, but only about like $1 above you. All right, so now that we got that out of the way as far as like moving averages go, there is, you know, previous high here at 1975. That's going to probably be another target to take profit on, okay? But if I throw in the VRVP indicator, let's see what we got here. VRVP indicator, as far as like where we are right now, we're kind of like 1666. Volume starts to drop off on the VRVP indicator, right? You see this little gap here, but you got a high volume node here at $18. For some reason, $18 just seems to be a level to look for here. Then the volume drops down, and then the value area high, 1940. 1940 is another area to try to take profit. And then of course 1975 was the previous high on June 3rd. So once you see 19 bucks here on Beta Technologies, I would consider clicking that sell button. Not financial advice. It's never financial advice. I do not grab your hand and I do not push the sell button for you. You have to figure that out when you want to actually push that sell button and how much you want to sell. Okay? Because I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy here on YouTube and TikTok who thinks he's funny. Maybe you guys think I'm funny. I like to think I'm educational. Maybe you guys might learn a thing or two here by looking at the charts here with me. But yeah, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy on YouTube and TikTok here who likes to look at the charts here with you guys. Dawn says, you think they open to public for $36 a share? And then Dawn says, LO, any thoughts on America 250 for fun? What's the ticker symbol? Is it just, if I type in America 250, what comes up? And then Dawn says it is a VT-based company of Vermont. Looks like it's some aerospace and defense technologies here. Are they? Where they? Yeah, they're based out of Burlington, Vermont. Here, they're headquartered in Burlington, Vermont. The company was founded by Kyle Clark in 2017. Is that a friend of yours? Just curious. I never heard of Beta Technologies. How much money is in the company? Market cap $3.8 billion. That's a pretty respectable market cap. Yeah. Okay. And then what was the last earnings report saying? The last earnings report, they actually lost money, but they were expecting to lose more money, and they lost less money. So it's actually a positive earnings report. Revenue. What was the revenue? Did they give revenue? I mean, I can always. I'm just getting the earnings per share right now. I don't see revenue, but maybe they didn't have revenue. I don't know. I don't want to get. I mean, I guess I could click more earnings. What is more Beta earnings? Revenue came in at $9.2 million. Wow! Imagine that, being a $3 billion company and you only made $9 million in revenue for 3 months. And I guess, you know, for the year it would be like, just multiply that by 4. Like $36 million a year, and you're a almost a $4 billion company. When you got a $2 trillion company, you know, why not have a $3 billion company that makes $9 million in revenue? Oh man, I need to get back to the chart here. But also, we got politicians that make 250 grand with $10 million houses. So who knows in this economy what is real and what isn't. But you want to take a look at 250, America 250. Let's see if I can do that. And I'll get to you, DZ. I know you got another request for bio there. We will look at bio for DZ. America 250. Is that like an ETF or a mutual fund? It's crypto on Coinbase. Let me go look at the ticker. And then we got a request for KTOS. America 250 is the name on Coinbase. Interesting. Okay. And we got a request here for KTOS. All right, we're gonna look at bio first, and then we're gonna look at KTOS. But I'm trying to find America 250. I don't see America. Let me just type in America and then put in crypto and see what comes up. Yeah, I don't see America 250. America 250. I don't see it. Can I find it on maybe crypto bubbles maybe? America 250. It's not in the top 100. Hey, no, whoa, no. I was just, can I find it on CoinMarketCap? Let me see if I can find it on CoinMarketCap for you. If I can't find it on CoinMarketCap, then it probably does not exist, to be honest. But you say it's on Coinbase, so if it's on Coinbase, then it has to be out there somewhere. America 250. Okay, yeah, it's on DexScan, so yeah, it's not on Coinbase. All right. USA 250. Nope. And I can't do Dex Screener because I will get in trouble with TikTok if I do Dex Screener. So I'm sorry, I can't look it up for you. We're gonna move on to the next request here. We're gonna take a look at bio. I am getting a little bit thirsty here, guys. I gotta go grab some water here real quick. But you can kind of see bio here on the charts. Why, what is wrong with Coinbase? Let me see. Bio on, not on Bitstamp. Kraken maybe? A little bit better, but as you guys look at the chart there real quick here, I am going to grab some water here real quick. Do all this talking, and it's a little bit hot here in Costa Rica. And I need some water, some agua. So this right here is the aloe vera water. It's got aloe, chunks of aloe in it. I'll show it to my TikTok guys. Actually, kind of see it right here. Kind of blends with my green shirt. But this is aloe vera water. All right, looking at bio here with DZ. Bio, we'll use the VRV indicator. Why not? We've been doing that the past couple of assets ago. Why not continue on? You got a point of control high volume node here at 3.0308 pennies. You're slightly above that, which means that if you stay above it, it should get easy to go to higher prices. And we got another high volume node here at 0.036 pennies. That should be resistance, okay? Also, you got the 200-day at 0.034 and the 50-day at 0.0378. Between 0.034 and 0.0378, you should consider taking some profits. Don't get greedy. Bulls make money, bears make money. Pigs get slaughtered. Pigs watch their gains get round trip back to break even, and then they lose money after they're already in profit. So don't be a pig. Sell something. I'm not going to tell you how much. Some people do 10, some people do 20, some people do 30% of whatever their position is at. Take some profit, move your stop loss to break even. So you made money and you're not going to lose any money. Okay? And you'll see if Bio can continue going past 0.0378. If it can make it past that, then you got the value area high at 0.047 pennies. That should be an area where we would like to take more profit on Bio. Because if you can, you know, stay in Bio right now and you just get right back up to that value area high, how high of a percentage gain is that going to be? A 51% gain. You're not going to tell me you're not going to take profit after making 50%? That could happen in the next week or two. It happen later on this week. Why would you be up 50% and not take that? You don't have to take all of it. You can take some of it and then could move your stop loss to break even and let the rest of it ride up to higher prices. But those are the levels I would be looking for there, DZ. Now, you did get a hyper long signal here on Saturday, so you should see higher prices here for Bio. Should. Doesn't mean you guaranteed, but you should. Do you have momentum? There's momentum to the upside. Momentum is to the upside here on the money flow divergence indicator. You got a green buy dot here on Monday, June 8th, a week ago, saying that we're all systems go for higher prices here on Bio. And then let's see if the MACD indicator agrees with that. MACD indicator says, yeah, you've been getting some buying pressure here, but the last couple of days, the buying pressure has been weak. So weak that you're seeing the trend start going down here, where you're getting light green candles here. So I don't like that. We need to get solid green candles and see higher prices here for Bio for us to be fully convinced that we're going to see more money on this asset here. So that's Bio there in a nutshell there for you, DZ. Let me go back in the chat, see what the YouTube chat's saying here. And we got Rich Sir Nap Time. He says, sup, DZ. Oh, okay. He's not saying sup to me. I'll tell you what's up right now, Rich. You see this? Boston Celtics. Okay. I know the New York Knicks won the championship, but we don't you know, live in the past here. We're talking about next year, the future here. I like to see the Celtics win the next championship for 2027. But I'm wearing a shirt in support of the green day that we're getting in the markets. We are getting green all across the board here on crypto and stocks. And the only thing that's not green is the price of oil. All right, yep, I got you, Positive Thinking. We're going to look at KTOS, I got you, and then we'll try to take a look at the S&P 500 after that. Positive Thinking says, what is the indicator name for money flow? So this is the money flow indicator is by DeluxeAlgo. It's the DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator. Pretty cool, right? You got a green buy dot here. You got the momentum to the upside. And of course, the money flow is the green stuff here right now. But you can see money flow was in the negative for Bio here back in March. Okay. I'll teach you as much as I can about the money flow indicator. You know, that's one reason why I think you come onto the live streams here. But if you want to get this indicator here, because this indicator also gives us the signals, right? For like the long signal that we got here on Bio. And then that little short signal that got, you know, canceled out by the long signal. If you want these signals and you want that money flow indicator, you have to, since you're on TikTok here, you have to go to the TikTok page here, the TikTok Meet Damien TikTok page here. Go over to the Linktree link here. Click on the Linktree link. It's going to take you over to the Meet Damien Linktree, where you got some of my links here for the exchanges that I'm on. And also the Meet Damien Discord server, but you want the DeluxeAlgo referral link there. Okay, you click on that, boom. It's going to take you over to the DeluxeAlgo webpage with my referral link. And there's actually a 7-day trial here where you can get this indicator for free for 7 days. And then it's only going to be $9.99 a month, when normally it's like a $12 a month indicator here. You're going to save 20% just because you're using the Meet Damien referral link there. Click on Get Access there, right? And you can get it for a month with that 7-day trial. They're also doing, well, it seems like they're doing a 7-day trial for almost all the subscription plans here. But if you really like it and you want to save more money, get it for like 3 months, or you can get it for like 6 months and get like 10% off. Or you could just do the one-time purchase and get it and never have to worry about it again. And once you actually get this indicator, right? Okay, first you would have to, you know, put in your email and credit card information and all that good stuff. Sign up for it. But once you're signed up for it and you paid, you go back to TradingView here. And you go over to your indicators here. Invite only, because it's an invite only indicator. And you got that DeluxeAlgo money flow and divergence indicator. I favorite it, so I always have it in my favorites, right? So it's in my favorites here, DeluxeAlgo. And then you add it to your chart, and it's gonna look like that, right? It actually might look like this here, where on the settings here, the background color is black. Okay, I don't like having black. I don't want it like sticking out in the chart like that. So I just actually go into the settings here and I take out the black there. And you can play around with other things here on there, on that indicator. Like the buy dots, you can change the color of the buy dots. You can make it like a solid green instead of a light green or teal. But I usually keep it the way it is. I like it the way it is. Except for the background color, I just take that off. Positive Thinking is asking me, is that a paid subscription from me or do you pay for it as well? I mean, I probably should have created an indicator like that myself here, but no, that is from DeluxeAlgo. You might see him show up on the live streams himself. He is another follower and subscriber of the Meet Gaming channel here, but he came up with that indicator, and it works pretty well, obviously. And because I am referring people to his indicator and also showing it on the live stream here, he actually lets me use it for free. Okay. And then on course, anybody that actually uses the indicator, I get the referral, a little bit of a referral bonus for referring people to that indicator there. Oh, does it do like smaller time frames? Yeah, it does do smaller time frames there. So if I go to like the 15-minute chart, so this is kind of like a little bit janky here with bio, but let me see if I did like Bitcoin here. So if I did Bitcoin, you can see that, you know, it's trying to tell you the long Bitcoin right now in the 15-minute time frame here, after having that short signal that fired off here, you know, later on this earlier this morning here. It was telling you the short Bitcoin, but now that we hit this moving average, it's actually telling you the long Bitcoin right now. Okay. And the other cool thing about this indicator, it also tells you where bearish divergence is. So it spots it out with these magenta lines here. And if you don't, you know, believe it, or if you want to just confirm it for yourself, like, do we really have bearish divergence? You can look at the RSI indicator here, and you can see, like, yeah, we had a high here at 84, and then we had another high here at 79, another high here at 78, and yeah, that's ever so slightly bearish divergence, where you're making lower highs on the RSI, but you're making higher highs here on the price. So that's bearish divergence, and that's one of the things that the indicator takes into account here when it fires off the signal is, do you have bearish divergence, among other things. Okay, I can't get into all to it. All right, but just know that the indicator is programmed to find when we should be entering shorts or taking profit on our longs here. And yeah, it told you to short Bitcoin earlier this morning at 11 a.m. my time, which is like 8 hours ago. And now it's telling us on the 15-minute time frame to long it. Okay, now this is just the 15-minute time frame. It's going to be different on all the time frames. You know, 5-minute time frame. Let's see what it's saying on the 5-minute. All right, so the 5-minute is saying, you know, it had a long and a short kind of cancel each other out here. Okay, let's see what on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. It was telling you the long Bitcoin Sunday afternoon, right when we got the good news about the peace deal. But then on the 1 hour time frame, it's actually telling you to short Bitcoin. It told you to do that 4 p.m. my time, like 3 hours ago, three 1 hour candles ago. Okay, So I don't know. I mean, maybe Bitcoin is going to drop down to lower prices here, but the 1 hour time frame is saying that we should be considering shorting Bitcoin. See what the 4 hour time frame says. 4 hour time frame is also saying that we should be shorting or taking profits. Daily time frame. Daily time frame told you to long Bitcoin this Saturday. There you go. All right, yeah, we'll take a look at KTUS. I know, but you were asking about that indicator there, though. I was just giving you that sauce that you wanted. All right, Kratos, is that what you're looking for? Is it the stock KTOS? And I'll give you a few seconds to type your response there. But are we looking at KTUS the stock or KTUS the crypto? KTUS the stock. Okay, got it. Kratos, defense and security. All right. Now we're looking at Kratos. Currently trading at, or finished trading $57 earlier today. And there you go. There's the signals indicator telling you to long. And this is all part of that DeluxeAlgo indicator. You get that DeluxeAlgo indicator and it tells you the longs and shorts here. So it told you to long today. After we dropped only about 1.2%, but it's telling you long after you just had a short signal on Friday. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 Fridays ago. Friday, June 5th. Okay. And now look at this. See these green teal lines? That's your bullish divergence there on the DeluxeAlgo indicator. And if you want to confirm that real quick, you can look at the RSI indicator. Ever so slightly higher lows here. You got a low on the RSI at 29.29, and then another low here at 30.08. Ever so slightly bullish divergence, and it also takes into account bullish divergence using money flow as well and momentum there. So sometimes it might not just be the RSI; it might actually be the money flow might be showing bullish divergence, but DeluxeAlgo indicator was spotting bullish divergence here towards end of April going into May here. So that's what you need to see to try to, do the beginning of bottoming out here. Now, can we actually make higher lows here and higher highs and actually start an uptrend here? If we're going to make a higher high, I mean, it looks like the last high here was back here on April 8th when we got up to like $79.44 and got rejected off of that 200 moving average. Ugh. Okay, that red line. Now the moving average that we need to get above, we got to get above that 50-day moving average at $62, and I would like to get back above this high here at $79.44. But yeah, if we're gonna be bullish here, let's throw on that VRVP indicator, see what the levels are to look for. Right now, I'm seeing as I start to adjust the chart here, I see a value area low here at $61. That could be, I mean, that's right where the 50-day moving average is at, $61, $62. Might want to take some profit there if you got it. Be able to stay in longer on the trade here. Various volume nodes here. You got something here at like $68, something here at $69, something here at $73. But I think the more significant volume node is like here at 85, and of course the point of control at $90 here for Kratos. I think that's going to be your long-term swing trade target for you swing traders out there. For the long-term investors, that means you're going to be in here for about a year, so you might see higher than that. You might actually see the value area high at some point here. That's at $106, okay, for Kratos. But I think for the swing traders who are in it for like a few months, a few weeks, you might see that point of control later on in the future here at $90. That's that blue line right there, that dark blue line, high volume node. This is taking all the green, all the buys and sells occurred around that price, and you add up all those buys and sells, and it's showing a high volume node here at $90 here. So that's what I'd be looking for targets to the upside. We got Shafi in the chat here. Good to see you, Shafi. And oh, would you look at that, huh? We got DeluxeAlgo is actually on TikTok right now. Positive thinking. If you have more questions, I literally just see DeluxeAlgo join the TikTok live stream here. But yeah, Delux, he was just asking me if I made that indicator. I was like, nope. My buddy DeluxeAlgo made that indicator, and then he was asking me if I pay for the indicator. I'm like, nope. Because I do work for Delux, and Delux wants me to show his indicator here. He actually lets me use it for free. But yeah, I also get commission off of if anybody does make that purchase on the DeluxeAlgo indicator. But right now you can get it for free, 7-day free trial there. See if it makes sense for you. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, you know. And if it does, we would like you to continue using it. Shafi wants me to take a look at Uniswap and Ethereum. All right, we got some requests here, some more requests. Positive thinking. I could do that real quick here. I can show you the settings here. But I do have a VRVP indicator video you might want to check out. It's on the Meet Damien channel, and it's pinned to the top of the TikTok page. Okay. But we got. Let me write down Uniswap, and then we gotta look at Ethereum. Okay. All right. And for that VRVP indicator, if I go over settings here, your indicator might look like this, where it only has a row size of 24. And if you do that, it looks blocky like this, right? It's not as precise. You can't really see the actual level. I mean, you can kind of see that, oh, there's a little bit of a gap here. But if I go row size 240, if I just add a 0, now look at the VRVP indicator. You get those little tiny crevices here, volume node, see the gap there, and you can actually see the actual nodes here when you put it at 240. And then also on the style here, okay, you want to make sure you have the value area high clicked on, the value area low, that VAL clicked on. The POC, I actually turn that blue so I can actually spot it on the chart real easy. And yeah, that's for the most part the settings right there, okay? But I go over the settings on how I set it up on TikTok as well. If you go to TikTok, you go over to the pinned videos here. I got my tutorial videos pinned. I got the VRVP indicator video right there with 2,800 views. Very popular video. And then I got the Fibonacci video there. And I got another video. I should probably title this. This is just a how to read a candlestick chart for the beginners. Okay, for the beginners out there that want to get started with reading charts. I got a video on that. But the VRVP indicator, that's about like a 16-minute video right there. So you can watch that on your own time. All right, moving on. DeluxeAlgo says, did I check the last messages in Discord with a new signal? No, I haven't. Do you want me to do that on the live stream, or can I wait until the end of the live stream there, Delux? I don't know if you want me to get into our messages and put it up there in the live stream, but I could do that after the live stream. How about that? All right. Positive Thinking says, thank you. You're welcome. All right. Let's try to move on to Uniswap, and then actually I gotta see if my YouTube guys are putting in requests as well. We got Francisco Santos is in here. He wants to take a look at Solana and Sui. You guys are going to keep me busy. So I'll do Uniswap, and then I'll do Solana, and then I'll do Ethereum, and then I'll do Uniswap. How's that sound? Rich says Bitcoin is retesting the 1 hour golden pocket. Yeah, of course. You know, when I try to long, I actually tried a long river earlier this morning, and it was like I didn't get the highest price, but it was like it was up there, I guess. And I wouldn't be surprised if I got stopped out on my my long on river. I might have to look at it again. If Bitcoin's going to take a little bit of a correction here tonight, I might have to get in. I might have to get into river at a lower price than what I got in at. But I'm happy that I got into the SpaceX IPO on IPO day, because that thing's up 19% from Friday. Rich says, if only I didn't sell my Zcash in near 4 hours before the pump started. Oh, I think I remember seeing that on the Discord. You said out on the Discord there, Rich. And DZ says, thanks for the TA. You're welcome. You're welcome there, DZ. And Rich wants to look for structure breaks. Rich is also a pretty expert trader here in the YouTube live stream here. And sometimes he doesn't always get the best prices either. All right, I'm just reading up on the chat. So Solana and Sui, and then what is my thought about staking or using DeFi in the market? Oh, Rich, you're just being humble right now. You know what you're doing when it comes to trading. I put you right up there with some of the best. All right. Well, I guess you gotta be careful of the people that say, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best." Because are they really the best? They might be overcompensating for something. I never say I'm the best trader. I get losses every now and then too. I like my big winners when I get my big winners, and I'll post them up. One of my biggest winners was long in oil right before the war started. Rich says he's just trying to learn. We're all trying to learn. We're all on different stages of our trading journeys. I think I know I'm a lot further ahead than I was years ago. As long as you're ahead of what you were a year ago, I think you're doing all right when it comes to learning about trading. And whatever you learn about trading and leverage trading, it's gonna pay dividends when you're not using leverage and you're just doing swing trading and investing. You're like so far ahead of the game because you've seen the things play out on the smaller time frames. You're gonna be like, wow, the bigger time frames, this is easy stuff here compared to like trying to predict things on the smaller time frames. All right, so let me get to looking at these charts here. We gotta look at Uniswap, and then oh yeah, I got a question here. What I think about DeFi and staking? I think it's great. I think you should be staking as long as you can make money. I like to think of staking as like a dividend paying stock. So like Solana is like one of my favorite cryptos to stake. I staked Solana, and I made like 30 to 40 Solanas over the past 2 years. Like I bought Solana in like the end of 2022, and I held it for like 2 years going into like 2024 and 2025. And I made like 30 or 40 Solanas just by staking. And, you know, I bought Solana at like 20, 30 bucks, right? And, you know, Solana at $200. Imagine getting like 40 Solanas for free. All you had to do was stake it. You know, you get 5% here, 5% here, 5% here, but it adds up over time. And then you're like, oh my God, I got like 40 Solanas for free. And then you can sell those Solanas for like $200 a coin. Come on. Yeah, worth it, I would say, to stake if you can. I like staking because it's like you're making money. You know, you're making money whether the crypto goes up or down. You're just getting free coins, okay? Which you could then sell for more than free, right? So it's like a dividend paying stock. It's how I try to explain it to like the stock market guys. You know, Solana is like a dividend paying stock if you stake it. Same thing with Ethereum and some other cryptocurrencies that you can stake. All right, we'll look at Uniswap. I set up for like the 1 millionth time already. Currently trading at $3.01. About the 21 in May. Okay, trying to make it up to the 50-day. You got a point of control here. This level to pay attention to at $3.25. For those who don't know how to do the VRVP indicator, you can just look left and you can see there's a lot of sideways trading action going on here in April towards beginning of May here at that level, so it makes sense. But the VRVP indicator is saying, yeah, for sure, that's the level to look for here. That's your point of control at 325. Okay. So I would expect resistance there. 325 is also where that 100-day moving average is kind of sort of at right now. So maybe that's also going to be your target to the upside for now. You are at the value area low. Okay. So there was expected resistance here, and that was at 295 here. You're actually above it right now. Hopefully you can stay above it, and then we can work our way up. Maybe we do a bull flag here, go sideways, and then we jump up to that POC. Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe we actually just continue the bull run and go exponential and just climb right up to the POC tomorrow. But I would expect 325. Put your sell limit order there. 325. And also maybe you can try to see if you can hit that 50 moving average at 316. So anywhere between 316, 325, and 330. Those are that's like your sell zones. Sell right here if you're able to. Okay. But cool thing about Uniswap is you did get that long signal here. So if you were like, I'm not sure if I should long or if we're gonna just continue going down here on Uniswap, well, it told you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I told you the day before, like, oh, we should short, but then it said, nope, actually, we're gonna long now. So, and the long is playing out to the upside so far. So you had like 1, 2, 3, 4 green days after that long signal came out. So, you know, sometimes that can happen, right? If things change, if certain criteria gets met, you could see that DeluxeAlgo indicator tell you to short, only for it to then 2 days later say, nope, forget that, where it's time to go long now. Reverse trade, reverse, uno reverse to higher prices here. And that's what you're getting here on Uniswap. Do we have momentum? Let's see if momentum is good for us to go to higher prices. One of my favorite momentum indicators, not going to cost you any money, and that's your MACD indicator here. It's on almost every single trading platform out there. But you got the MACD cross here on Sunday, roughly. Your first green candle in a while. And looks like the trend is to the upside for Uniswap at the moment. So that looks good. I think you're doing all right on the MACD indicator. And then let's see. On the money flow divergence indicator by DeluxeAlgo, which, you know, this does cost money here to get this indicator. But it's also going to give you the long and sell signals there. And it's also going to give you the green buy knot. The green buy knot came in on June 7th, and then momentum's just started creeping up higher, higher, higher. And now you're seeing higher prices here for Uniswap. So I think Uniswap has the green light to go to higher prices, and I already gave you the target to the upside. It's going to be between 316 and 330, the 50-day and the 100-day moving average right there, where I'd be looking for take profit on Uniswap at this moment. All right, moving on from Uniswap, we're going to take a look at Solana, one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, the one that I made the most money in the last bull run that we just had, the one that I bought at $16, $19, $20, and then sold for $200, got my 10x. Yeah, we're going to look at Solana. Solana, currently trading at $74. I would love to get back in Solana again. Maybe I missed my opportunity here when Solana went down to $60 here. We saw Solana at $60.11 on June 6th. We shall see. We shall see. I mean, the markets are going up because we could be getting a peace deal, but nothing is in writing yet. But we did get confirmation from Iran, as well as Donald Trump himself, that they do want to sign a peace deal. And they were about to launch more missiles and rockets at each other, and Donald Trump was able to tell Iran to just don't fire back. And they didn't fire back. And then he told Israel to not fire back or do anything else more. And then Israel stopped shooting. So maybe we can actually get higher prices here for Solana and crypto here. And if we do get higher prices here, once again, we got movement averages to look for. We also got a point of control. sitting at $84 here for Solana at this current moment in time. Looking at data going all the way back to like the beginning of May. You also got that 50 and 100-day moving average. The 50, that green line is at $80.99. The 100-day is at $83.46. So once you get to like 80 to like 85 bucks, might be time to click the sell button on Solana. Sell some Solana if you can. All right. But then after that, I don't know what's going to happen next with Solana. It could just drop down back to the value area low. That value area low, this white line is at $71 there. That should be a support zone for Solana. Maybe we can make a higher low here and then come right back up to that POC again and actually bust through it. We shall see. We shall see. But if Solana is just going to be really, really bullish and actually bust right through the POC the first time and not even like regard it as resistance, then we got the value area high, this white line above us at $98, right next to that 200-day moving average, which is at $99. So $98, $99 is an area where I think you're going to make a good amount of money with Solana if you do that, and you should try to take profit because there's no guarantees that we're not going to just drop down here. And, you know, you want to sell high and buy low again, right? So sell near $99, and then if you come back to the POC at 83 bucks, you can buy back in again and get some more Solana with all the cash that you made selling it at $99 there. Just an idea. All right, let me go back to the YouTube chat, see what my YouTube guys are saying here. Rich says, dude, I bought Solana at 16 and sold it at 22 when I was just getting into crypto, thinking I just beat the market. You had a couple hundred if you had just held. Yeah, imagine if you just held. Rich, when did you start getting into crypto? You didn't. Is this your first bull run and your first potential bear market? I got into crypto back in 2017. I bought my first Bitcoin. I told you, I'll say it again. I bought my first Bitcoin, and I bought an entire Bitcoin for $3 grand. And I bought some Ethereum at the time and some Litecoin, and those were like the only coins I could find on Coinbase back in the day in 2017. Then I dipped my toes into buying XRP and Cardano, and I had to do it on another exchange called Bittrex, which is no longer around anymore. Oh, it's your first crypto bull run and bear market. Okay. Well, this is my, I've been through 3 bull markets in crypto, and this is my 3rd bear market in crypto. So I'm waiting to go into my next bull run in crypto, and I'm waiting, you know, for the 4th, you know, bull run in crypto and the 4th bear market as well. Because we do get bear markets and we do get bull markets. I think we all know that for now, right? Those of you guys who've been with me for like the last year or two, I started live streaming in December of 2023, or at least I started my YouTube and TikTok channel in December 2023. And I think you guys have seen the bull run. We've had the bull run in 2024, in 2025, and now we're getting the bear market in 2026, but we're all trying to figure out when is this bear market going to come to an end. And it might be coming to an end. It might. Rich says he tried buying Bitcoin in 2017 at 3K, but only had an Apple, and Coinbase wanted an Android. Oh my God. That is so messed up. How could they discriminate against you like that? Yeah, Bitcoin was crazy around that time. I remember, so I bought Bitcoin at like $3 grand in 2017. After my buddy in 2016, around like November, December of 2016, my buddy's like, yo, Damien, Bitcoin's at $1,000. You got to get into this thing. You got to check this out. This is going to be making a lot of money. And he knew I was in the stocks and everything. So, you know, he was like, you should check out this thing called crypto. And actually, my buddy didn't even tell me about Bitcoin for the first time. I actually stumbled across a Bitcoin ATM machine, like a Bitcoin ATM in like 2016. I saw it in like Cleveland, Ohio. I was on vacation with my brother. And my brother, he's like 10 years younger than me. And he's like, I was like, what the hell is a Bitcoin ATM? And it was like orange and kind of cute and whatnot. But like, I was like, what the hell is a Bitcoin ATM? And my brother's like, oh, that's for like drug dealers and terrorists and bad people. And the hotel that we were staying at was kind of like a cheap hotel with some shady people in it. So I was like, the fact that I was in a shady hotel, I was like, okay, makes sense. Like, it's just for bad people. Okay, whatever. That's like bad people money. Then my buddy in 2016, towards the end of it, was like, no, man, it's more than just that. This is the future of money and this and that. It's like digital gold and all that. And I understood, economics, and I understood gold and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I'm a little bit intrigued. So I watched Bitcoin go from like 1,000 to 2,000, and then from 2 to 3. And I was like, damn, okay, so this thing does move. And I actually bought Bitcoin at $3,000 when I thought it was at a relatively low price in 2017. And then I saw it go to like 4, 5, 6 grand. And I told my mom about it. And my mom trusted me when it comes to like money and investing. So she was like, okay, I'm going to buy Bitcoin too. And she bought Bitcoin at like 6 grand. And then like a month or two later, Bitcoin was at like 12 grand. So like my mom doubled her money in like a month or two. And then of course I doubled or quadrupled my money at that point too. And then we saw Bitcoin go to like 19 grand, and we all thought it was going to go to 20 grand, and it didn't. And that was like the top of the 2017 bull market in Bitcoin. I didn't sell Bitcoin, and my mom didn't sell either. We waited through the 2018 bear market, and that's when I started accumulating Ethereum at that point, because I started learning more about Ethereum, and I was buying Ethereum at like 150, 200 bucks, 300, $400. And then in 2021, and when Ethereum was at like, 4 to 4 grand, that's when I was like, oh man, this thing's going to 5 grand. And then it didn't. And then I was like, oh shit, it's not going up anymore. And I sold my Ethereum at like $3,800 after I was buying it for like 200 bucks a coin. So yeah, that's what I like to do. Bear market is where you make money, guys. Don't forget about that. Right? You're going to buy Solana at like 60, 70 bucks, and then you're going to sell it like 3 or 4 years later for like 600 bucks. Maybe even a year or two from now, you might be able to sell it for like 600 bucks. You might be able to 10x your money on Solana right now. So, but I think, if we're going to get bearish here on Solana, I mean, we could come down to like 30, 40 bucks or 20 bucks. Let's look at the VRVP indicator as I zoom out here. There is a high volume node here at 33 bucks. I would like to buy Solana at $33. Just like I would like to buy Bitcoin at 42 grand. And then there is a point of control. Look at what the point of control is. The point of control is where I was buying Solana back in 2022 and 2023 at $20. There's a lot of people that bought Solana at that level. I did myself, but I sold at 200 bucks because I'm not a dummy. Okay? I know I need to take profit when I get a 10x. So, yeah. I would love to buy Solana at $33 and then sell it for $300, because then that's a 10x right there. Like, if you're able and lucky enough to get Solana at $33, don't be shy. It's gonna feel scary. You're gonna be like, oh my god, Solana's below 40 bucks. Oh my god, Solana's at $33, and then you're gonna hear people say, oh, Solana's going to 20, Solana's going to 10, and then when you hear the people saying that Solana's gonna go to 20 bucks or $10, that's usually when people are too bearish, and then Solana will just out of nowhere, some good news will come out of nowhere, and it'll just jump right back up to like 50 or 60 bucks, and then you're gonna miss out on the opportunity to get in at 33 bucks. So I would love to get Solana at 33 bucks if I can. And then sell it for 300, and that's your 10x right there. So Positive Take It says, what do I plan on buying? When am I planning to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto? I was waiting for later on this year. Usually Bitcoin does the bear market low a year after the all-time high. So just giving you an example, in December of 2017, we topped out at 19 grand, and then we went to 3 grand a year later. and that was the bear market low for Bitcoin in like December 2018. Then in November 2021, Bitcoin topped out at 69K, and then a year later, literally a year later, 12 months later, FTX goes bankrupt, and then that was the bear market low for Bitcoin at like 15 grand in November of 2022. Now, for some reason, it's like things are getting moved back like a month. Now we have October of 2025 was the all-time high for Bitcoin at 126 grand. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin makes a bear market low in October of 2026. Like, how many more months is that? We got July, August, September, like 4 more months. We're like 8 months into the 1 year bear market that Bitcoin normally does. I don't know what is going to be the bad news that's going to push Bitcoin down lower. Maybe the war actually starts up again. I don't know. Although we're kind of hoping. I think everybody's hoping. I know I'm bearish and I want to see lower prices for Bitcoin, obviously, because I'm in cash and Tether right now. But I would like to see Bitcoin go down a little bit further so that way I can go buy it lower. Okay? And I just don't know what the next shoe to drop is. Because I could tell you, like, in the last bear market, like, we had Terra Luna blow up. We had, like, 3 Arrows Capital blow up. And people thought, like, oh my god, what else could happen? Like, that had to be it. This has got to be the bear market low. And then towards the end of the summer of 2022, people were like, oh man, Bitcoin's at like 20 grand. It's at 19 grand. It never goes below the all-time high from the previous cycle. But I just knew from like 2018 bear market, like, there's always something that could go wrong. Like, I remember in the 2018 bear market, Bitcoin was at like 6 grand for like the longest time. It kept dropping to 6 grand and then it would bounce off. Kind of like what we're doing right now when we're dropping down to 60 grand and then we kind of bounce off that level. We might actually drop to 60 grand again and then actually punch through and actually go down to lower levels. And I don't know what's going to be the thing that sets it off. Maybe we might get a cryptocurrency exchange get hacked. You guys remember what happened with Bybit last year? Does anybody remember Bybit getting hacked and losing billions of dollars of Ethereum? Imagine if that was to happen right now while people are already like pissed off and scared and depressed with crypto. That would devastate the markets. Imagine if Binance or Coinbase gets hacked. Okay? That's a possibility, guys. It has happened. Those are pretty big exchanges. They have really good security, but doesn't mean that they're perfect. What if it's an insider? What if it's like somebody that works at Coinbase decides to hack the system and steal everybody's crypto? That's going to cause everybody to lose trust in cryptocurrency exchanges. They're going to take their money off the exchanges. They're going to sell it and they're going to be like, "Fuck this." I'm sorry. I just dropped the F-bomb. But they're going to be like, "Screw this. I'm going back to stock market world where I know I can get my money covered to some extent by the not the FDIC, but there's another way they can cover the money." Crypto Mike says, "Do I see Sui getting a 10x?" Yeah. Oh, it's not one of the requests here. Was that a request? Let me look at the YouTube guys here. We had Ethereum, and then we had to look at was it Sui? Oh shit, I think it was Sui. Let's see. Someone said Solana here. What did we look here? Oh yeah, Solana and Sui. I wrote down Uniswap twice. All right. All right. Yeah. So why don't we look at Sui and then we'll take a look at Ethereum. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's still risk in cryptocurrency world. Like, what if the Clarity Act gets failed? What if the Clarity Act fails? You know, what if I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But like, you know, what if the Republicans lose the Senate and the House? and the Democrats get into power, and you know the Democrats, they weren't really crypto friendly. What if they killed the Clarity Act bill? That means everybody that bought crypto thinking that Clarity Act was going to pass, they might give up and they might sell their crypto. All right, we're going to look at SUI now. Okay, here we go. SUI. I got some previous chart work here on SUI. SUI is currently trading at 79 cents right now. We got a nice big high volume node here. Point of control sitting at 94.95 cents. But I'm just going to say 95 cents. I think that's a nice number there. But as I zoom in, you can see we got a value area low here at 67 cents. And a value area high here at $1.39. I think I gotta change my there we go. We're gonna put this as a value area high now. And we'll put this little red line here at 67 cents. Oh wait, no, that was a high volume node there, 74 cents. Okay, actually I'll take this one, I'll put this one right here. There we go. 67 cents. Alright, so now I know my levels now, my new levels to look for. Okay, there is a point of control here. I don't think I need to put that a line there. But if I get rid of the VRVP indicator, I still got my levels to look for. Value area high was at like $1.39, $1.40. Value area low was at 67 cents, and there was like another high volume node here at 74, 75 cents. We are above those levels right now. We're above the value area low, and also above the high volume node here. But I would expect if SUI was to drop down to lower prices for whatever reason, let's see if we can get some here at 75 cents maybe, and see if we can get some more of it at 67 cents. And if SUI's going to continue being bullish here, which it could be, we got the 100 and the 50-day moving average at 94.95 cents. And I think we said that's where the point of control is at, right? Yeah, point of control is right where that 50-day and 100-day moving average is at. So I think we should probably add another line, right? One more line, why not? Okay. Right there at 95 cents or 94 cents. And those are your levels to look for, guys, using the VRVP indicator. Okay. And I'm just getting rid of the VRVP indicator, but I would try to sell SUI at 94.95 cents because, you know, look at all these people that bought SUI here thinking that they bought the bottom when that wasn't the bottom. Okay. If we get back up to 95 cents, do you think everybody here is going to be a long-term investor? No. Some of them were probably swing traders here. And if they didn't sell the high here when we hit the 200-day moving average, they feel stupid for not selling, and they're now underwater right now. And if we get back up to 95 cents, they're going to probably try to break even at 95 cents if they're not in it for the long run here. Okay? But if they're in it for the long run, and if they're swing traders and they got in at these nice low prices here, they might try to sell at that 200-day moving average. That's all the red line here that's curving down. That's at $1.14. And I think whoever bought here, right, if they didn't sell the 200-day moving average in May, and they saw this thing come back down and they went underwater, I think they'll learn their lesson again, that when they get to the 200-day moving average, they should try to sell, and that's going to be at $1.14. So $1.14 is where I would expect the next swing high to be for SUI. Okay, if we're going to continue on this rally, I don't know if we're going to have the juice and momentum to just push past it like it don't matter. Okay, but if we push past it like it don't matter, then, you know, we might get a double top here and try to challenge the top here in May when we got up to like $1.41. So that's another level to look for. And that happens to be the value area high is like $1.39, $1.41. So those are your levels here, guys. I just marked it off. But the VRVP indicator gave us the story here. But I think these moving averages are also giving us the story, as well as the previous high here is giving us the story as like where we should try to take profit on SUI here. Thank you, Crypto Mike, for liking the live here. We had 735 likes. Guys, let's see if we can get up to 1,000 likes. All you got to do is double tap your screen here, and that'll help me get to 1,000 likes here on TikTok. And for my YouTube guys, all you guys got to do is just see if we can get the likes to match the amount of people that watch the live stream. I don't think that should be hard to ask for or hard to do. Appreciate you guys for smashing that like button there. All right, let's YouTube and TikTok know that we have a good live stream going on here, and then they'll start sending a little bit more, some more people down this way to come get the good TA, the good analysis here. Let me go back to my YouTube guys, see what they're saying now. Let's see. Rich says, dude, I went to a Bitcoin ATM in Pennsylvania in 2016 with the guy that you worked with so he could buy Litecoin. And you traveled all the way from New York. Wow. And then Francisco Santos says, hell yeah, that's awesome. You got your family in. Wish my family would. Yeah, so yeah, I got my mom into Bitcoin when it was at like 6 grand. She actually did panic sell when Bitcoin went below 6 grand. She actually sold Bitcoin below 6 grand. And then only for Bitcoin to bounce back up again and go up to like 14, 15, 20 grand. And my mom learned her lessons about round tripping and panic selling. So then my mom then decided to try it again. She didn't give up. She knew I was good with finance and crypto. And my mom was like, all right, Damien, I'm going to do exactly what you tell me to do. I'm going to do it when and whatever you just tell me. So I guess I became my mom's financial advisor. But I know she's not going to sue me. So I told my mom, yeah, we're going to buy Solana at 13, 16, 19, 20 bucks while everybody is scared, depressed, and pissed off about crypto in like the end of 2022. And then I told my mom to hold on and stake her Solana, and she did. And then when Solana got to like 200 bucks, I said, all right, we should sell some Solana. We did a 10x, mom. And my mom was so happy. She like went on a vacation with the money. So, and bought some stuff around the house that she needed, you know, to fix up stuff around her house. And then she still held on to her Solana. And then when I saw like, you know, Solana and Bitcoin kind of like topping out in like the end of last summer, going into the fall, I was like, all right, we need to get out of Solana. I think you should get out of Solana. I was selling at like 230 bucks and 200 bucks. And I think she got out at like 190 bucks or something like that. And then, yeah, it kept on dropping to like 180, 170, 160, 150. When you sell Solana at 190 or 200 bucks and you see it at $150, you're feeling a little bit good about yourself. And then, of course, Solana dropping down further, down to like 130, 120, 110. And then she's like, yeah, I'm so glad I listened to you. So there you go. I was able to help out my family. At least I was able to help my mom make some money in the last bull run. I also had my brothers. One of my brothers. I have 2 brothers. One of them likes to get into meme coins, and I don't know. That one has learned his lesson about meme coins. I'll just leave it at that. And then my other brother, my other brother bought Ethereum near the top of the 2017 bull market. Like he bought Ethereum when it was like $1,200 a coin, and Ethereum went up to like $1,400 and then dropped down. But he has diamond hands. I'm not sure how much money he put into it. Maybe he only put like 50 bucks and he doesn't give a shit. But my other brother, he put money into Ethereum when it was at like, you know, 1,200 bucks and whatnot, and then what? Then it went up. Then it went up to like 4 grand, almost 5 grand in 2021, and he didn't sell. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, nope, I'm just holding on to it long term. Then of course Ethereum went back up to like 4 grand and almost 5 grand again in 2025, and I said, hey, we're back at like almost 5 grand here on Ethereum. Are you gonna sell? He's like, nope, I'm just diamond handing it. I'm like, okay. Well, what is Ethereum at right now? Let's I think that was one of the requests here. We gotta look at Ethereum, right? As one of the requests here. Ethereum's at $17.95. So my brother who bought Ethereum near the top of the bull market in 2017. He's still in profit right now. But yeah, he could have sold it, you know, for like $4,800, and that would have been a 4x for him. Even when he bought it near the all-time high back in 2017. He's still in profit right now. So I don't know what he plans on doing. I hope he's staking this Ethereum and making some dividends on it. But whatever. We're looking at Ethereum right now. Currently trading at 1793. Let's see. Yeah, if you ever want to talk about diamond handing stuff, talk to my brother. The one that's like a year younger than me. He knows how to hold on to it. I'm not sure if that's good or a bad thing. I told him eventually Ethereum will probably get replaced by something bigger, better, and faster. So he better do something about, you know, trying to take some profits, I guess. But who knows? Maybe he's able to hold it for another 5 years, and we'll see 10 grand Ethereum at some point. And then he will get his 10x on Ethereum. All right. Ethereum, 1793, coming up against the 21 EMA, just like Bitcoin. This white moving average line here is sitting at like 1790. That's literally where we're at. It's like 1793 right now. So Ethereum is respecting the 21 EMA at this point. If we can just continue being bullish here, I think the next moving average to look out for would be the 50-day moving average at 2047. Could provide resistance initially. We did get a long signal here on Ethereum using the money flow indicator, DeluxeAlgo money flow indicator. This thing right here with the magenta and the teal looking lines, the cool color stuff. That also fires up a signal here. Told you the long Ethereum yesterday. Hyper long. Let's go. Okay. So you got the long signal saying that we should see at least a few good days of upward price action here on Ethereum. But let's go into that momentum indicator here, right? Let's see what's going on here. This is the DLX money flow indicator. And this is showing that momentum, the gray stuff, is trending upward. You get a green buy dot that came in not this Sunday, but 2 Sundays ago. Sunday, June 7th was when we saw the green buy dot coming in saying, hey, you might get a few good days of upward price action here for Ethereum. Okay. I'm waiting to see if we're going to get a red sell dot. If we get a red sell dot, like this magenta sell dot here, that's when I would say that this rally is over for Ethereum, at least for now. Okay. But yeah, you get the green buy dot here on June 7th when Ethereum was at $1,500, $1,560. Yikes. Okay. All right. And then the other momentum indicator here is showing that selling pressure dying off. Then you got the green buying pressure coming in. You got the MACD crossover here on Saturday, saying that we should be seeing higher prices here for Ethereum. And sure enough, that's what we're getting right now. And I don't see anything here that's saying that Ethereum is done going up yet. Okay. The only thing that I do see is the 21 EMA. Could be an issue for now. But we could just go like sideways for now and then go up. Maybe Friday after the signing of the peace deal, we see Ethereum jump right back up to the 50-day moving average at $2 grand a coin. Okay. But right now, I think things are fine and dandy. You know, I think we got the green light to go to higher prices here on Ethereum. Just looking at the momentum indicators, and then also the signal. The long signal came in saying that, you know, it's time to long Ethereum, and this is on the daily time frame. A bigger time frame is the daily time frame, telling us that we should long Ethereum right now. All right, we got to 1,000 likes there. Thank you guys for helping me out there on the TikTok channel there. Appreciate that. All right, and let's see how we do on the followers here. Even after TikTok restricted my live stream for suspicious activity, I think because we were looking at a cryptocurrency that was, I had to go on Deck Screener, but I didn't. I did not go on Deck Screener, but because, you know, it's one of those cryptocurrencies that I shouldn't be looking at. I think TikTok was like, oh, hell no. And then they restricted my live stream. So I only got like 300 views here on TikTok, when normally I get like at least 1,000. And we got like 5 new followers here on TikTok, so that's cool for being restricted. You know, I do my best here, and I get restricted. I think this is all I can get here is like 5 new followers. But hey, you know, growth is growth. And we'll get more followers when I post up more videos besides the live streams here. So I'm not all too worried about it. Let me go back into the YouTube chat here, see what my YouTube guys are saying now. Francisco says, I feel like this is the last time to buy Solana below $60. Most likely bear market cycle low would probably be $100 to $140. Oh, you're talking about the next bear market cycle. We could see Ethereum drop all the way down to like $100 again. And then Rich says, the guy you worked with talked you into crypto, had 2 Bitcoin. He lost his pass key and he bought at 1,700. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my buddy who bought Bitcoin, he bought it for like less than $1,000. He had like 15 Bitcoins. Do the math there. When Bitcoin was at 100 grand, how much would he have right now? Yeah, my buddy, I think he put like 15 grand into Bitcoin when it was at like $1,000 a coin in like 2016. And what did he do? He fell for those stupid scams where they're like, hey, you give me 1 Bitcoin and I'll give you like 5 Bitcoin back. Yeah, he fell for that stupid shit. So, you know, my buddy, he was one of the first ones to get into Bitcoin. I wouldn't say he's like the smartest guy out there, but he was smart enough to tell me about it. So I thank him for that. But yeah, he got duped and they stole his Bitcoin. But what did my buddy do after that? He didn't give up. He actually decided to buy Ethereum. And he bought like, he put like another 10 grand into Ethereum. And he had like, I never tell you guys how much I have, okay? Because I don't want to become a victim of robbery. I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, Damien has that much crypto. And then you guys try to rob me. Trust me, you know, there are people who will try to find me if they find out, okay? But yeah, my buddy, he didn't give up on crypto. He actually, after people stole 15 of his Bitcoins, he then decided to buy Ethereum at like $100, $200 a coin, just like me. And he had 200 Ethereums. And, you know, when Ethereum got up to like almost 5 grand, you do the math. Yep. He almost had $1 million. Again, one more time, he almost had $1 million. But my buddy did not have an exit strategy. Remember, this is my buddy that got duped to give his Bitcoin away, thinking that people were going to give him more Bitcoin back. He didn't have an exit strategy. He had 200 Ethereums. Ethereum went up to like $4,800 in like 2021. Then it dropped down to like $1,700 later on that summer in 2021. He panic sold. He got scared because he lost like half of his profits in the summer of 2021. He sold Ethereum at like $1,700, and then of course that triggers a tax. You know, the IRS is like, oh, you sold Ethereum, you have profits. And then he bought Ethereum again when it climbed up to like $2,500 or something like that. And then he saw Ethereum go up to like 3-4 grand one more time in like the end of 2021. He didn't sell it at 4 grand, and then I think he sold it at like 3 grand or like whatever, and that was it. But he did it right. He obviously made enough money to buy a house himself. He's happy with it. He got married. He used the money to pay for his wedding and all that. And yeah, this is the buddy of mine that got me into crypto and told me to take it serious. Now he's an XRP guy. He told me he bought a bunch of XRP, and now I think he's smart enough not to tell people how much he has. And he has XRP as far as I know. Rich says, I bet he has an exit strategy now. Yeah, right? So like me, when I was watching Ethereum, because I was also into Ethereum the same as back in 2021, I was into Ethereum. I did not know about Solana. Solana did not trade on Coinbase until like August of 2021. So I was an Ethereum guy back in like 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. And what was going on back then? I was watching the charts there as well. I wasn't as much of an expert on the charts as I am now. I would say over the years I've become better. Okay. But I was able to identify higher lows and higher highs and stuff like that, for sure. And let's see. Back in 2021, yeah, Ethereum went up to like $4,300 in May. And this is when me and my buddy were talking about, oh man, what are you going to do with your money when Ethereum gets to like 10 grand? He's like, oh, I'm going to buy a boat. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And when you hear people talking about what they're going to buy with all their profits, that's like a good time to get out, man. If you hear your buddy saying, oh yeah, I'm never going to sell my crypto, that's a good time to sell your crypto, because look what happened. Like a few days later, oh shit. Ethereum dropped like 27% on May 19th of 2021. After it was at like $4,300, okay? And then, yeah, during the summer, you know, in June, it got down to $1,700. I think he, you know, when it went below 2 grand, he was panic selling over here. And then what did Ethereum do? Like it did like a little double bottom here, right? At like $1,700 here, and then it started shooting up, right? So when it started shooting up, my buddy's like, "Ah, shit! Ethereum's back at like $2,500," and he bought back in again here after he sold over here, right? He bought back in again here. And then, yeah, Ethereum did climb up in like August and September of 2021. And then it did this too, you know, making people feel good and gravy about being in Ethereum. But as Ethereum was climbing up, I was like, I know these things have cycles, and I saw 2018 and I saw 2017. And I was like, I was walking my stop loss. Like I saw like, you know, all right, we're making a higher low here. I'm going to put my stop loss at 3,300. Okay. We made a higher low here, kind of, sort of, around like near Halloween. I was like, I'm going to put my stop loss at $3,800. Okay. And then I saw Ethereum go all the way up to $4,800 here November 10th. Remember, I had my stop loss at $3,800. I was walking my stop loss. I was doing like kind of like the trailing stop loss strategy, or walking your stop loss. So I kept moving my stop loss into profit on Ethereum, okay? And then we lost the 21 EMA, okay, whatever. And we lost the 50-day, and we came down to $3,900. And I was like, oh, we're still good. I could still be in Ethereum. My stop loss is at $3,800. But then later on in December, then things got a little bit more nastier, and then I think I got stopped out right here on this candle wick, right? Ethereum dropped down to $3,500, but I sold at like $3,800 because I had my stop loss right over here, right? I was walking my stop loss. I left it right here, and then they got me in December, and you know, I knew I wanted to buy a house, so I held on to some of my money. And I did see Ethereum go down, and I saw low highs, and I saw it lose the 200-day moving average, and this and that. And then I think in January, I was like, you know what, let me see if I can buy Ethereum, right? And then it went up, and then it went down, it went up, down, down, up, down, down. And then it lost it here in May. And I had my stop loss at break even. I was like, all right, this is probably the bear market that we've all been, you know, hearing about and fearing, right? And I knew we were in a bear market, or, you know, in 2018, I remember seeing us lose the 200-day moving average. Here in 2022, we lost the 200-day moving average. So, like, now do you guys understand why I say the 200-day moving average? When we lose that, that's the bear market in crypto or whatever asset you're in. When you lose that 200-day moving average, look, we came here, we tried to get above it in April 2022 for Ethereum, and then we lost it. So that's why I say I'm not bullish until we get above the 200-day moving average. Now, over time, that 200-day moving average does come down, and it gets a little bit easy to get above it. But when did Ethereum get above the 200-day moving average? You had to wait until January 2023. We got above it for the first time in a while. Look how many times we got rejected. We got rejected here in November. We got rejected here in March of 2022. And of course, we lost it here in January, right, of 2022. So, you know, the 200-day moving average to me is very important to determine if you're in a bull market, bear market. And when you're below it, you're in a bear market. When you're above it, you're in a bull market. So bull market, in my opinion, did not start for Ethereum until January 2023. And then you came back, you back tested it. That was good to see that back test. That was your one last chance to get in at a cheap price. And then boom, we went up, and yeah, we back tested again here. Stayed above it. And then what happened here in August of 2023? I don't know what happened here, but we lost the 200-day moving average, and then we came back above it in October. And we never seen us go below it for a while there. Of course, we saw Ethereum make new, no. We went to $4,000 here in March of 2024. Never lost it. Came back up again. What the hell happened? Oh, damn, we actually did lose it. I don't know. Ethereum is different. Ethereum is not like Bitcoin. But yeah, we lost the 200-day moving average, and this was like another mini bear market. Like, you would ask me, like, Damon, are we bullish or bearish on Ethereum? Like, here in August of 2024, I would have been like, yeah, we're bearish. We're below the 200-day moving average. But this is like a little mini bear market inside a bull market, some people might say. And then we went back to being bullish again when Donald Trump got elected. And then, of course, here in December of 2024, looking good, looking good. But then, like, look at this. Like, Ethereum just loses the 200-day moving average one more time here, only for us to go above it one more time. So, Ethereum, I don't know, like, not as great as it used to be. I think because Solana stole some of its thunder, and all the other cryptocurrencies stole some of its thunder and market share. But Bitcoin stayed above its 200-day moving average, I think, during like 2023 and 2024. Like, let's look at Bitcoin real quick here one more time. Bitcoin in like January 2023 got above its 200-day moving average, back tested it, came above, lost it here in September. That's like a little bear market, a little bearish there. Then we came above it. And then, yeah, something about 2024 here. Like, it was all janky here. But we actually got above it one more time here. So, yeah, when you get below the 200-day moving average, I do not like that. That's very bearish. Could be an opportunity, though, to buy at the cheapest prices you can get before you launch up to higher prices. So, right now, we lost it here. And we try to come up to it here in May. We lost it again. But let's see if we can get a relief rally back up to that 200-day moving average. And if we get up to that 200-day moving average, I would take profit at $77,300 here. Is where that 200-day moving average is sitting at for Bitcoin. Positive thinking. What are you saying here, bro? Isn't that when we wait till Ethereum or any crypto goes above the buy, we miss all the low price level? You can take a shot at trying to buy crypto at these low levels here. I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea. Okay, I just think it could possibly go lower, and you might get better prices. Okay, but when we get above the 200-day moving average and we actually stay above that red line there, that's when we have to start thinking about, all right, maybe we're in the bull market now. We're not bearish anymore. That's all. You know, you can still get good prices after you hit the 200-day moving average. Like, it'll probably go sideways at the 200-day moving average at 76K for Bitcoin if we actually get up to that level. Or we could get rejected, come right back down to like 60K again, and then that will be more confirmation that we're like doing a double bottom or a triple bottom here before we go up to higher prices. Maybe 60K is as low as Bitcoin goes. Maybe the levels, the drop in Bitcoin is not as severe as it used to be. You know, over time it does lose its volatility, and maybe dropping 50% from all-time highs as low as you're going to get on Bitcoin going forward now. Oh no, I lost my music. I did a 2-hour live stream for sure, man. That was a long live stream there. Let me see if I can turn the music back on here. We'll just do a replay. Yeah. The same music here. Let's see. Make sure that everything's looking good here. Oh, my computer's running slow now. All right, there we go. Let me just look at the chat here for YouTube. yeah. Rich says, I bet he has an extra strategy now. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the live stream. I think going forward, levels to look for Bitcoin. We're kind of coming up on high volume here, high volume nodes here. If I throw in the VRVP indicator, you see that between 60, like where we're at right now at 66K, going up to like 69K, there's some volume there. There's more volume here at 70K. Once we get past 70K, it gets a little easier to go to higher prices, and then we got a point of control, high volume node here at 77K. That's right where that 200-day moving average is at. I think that's going to be tough for us to get past. 77K might be the next possible lower high for Bitcoin, maybe. But also we got something here at the 100-day and the 50-day at 72K. That's another level to look for. So maybe Bitcoin can squeeze out another $6,000 before we get rejected for some reason. Maybe Bitcoin can actually get up to another 10 grand from where we are and get up to like 77K before we get rejected. But those are the levels I'm looking for, 72 and then 77K at this moment right now, okay? We're already at another possible level where we could get rejected, although I think we got momentum on Bitcoin to just continue powering on to higher prices here. Yeah, I don't see anything here that says that we need to stop going up to higher prices here on Bitcoin, at least not on the daily time frame. And then here on the money flow indicator, right? We got momentum to the upside, green buy dot, and if I saw a red sell dot, I'd be like, all right, maybe Bitcoin is done going up, but we're not getting that. So I think we're all systems go for higher prices here on Bitcoin and crypto here, guys. So yeah, you could try to buy now, dollar cost average now, and you might see some temporary wins, some temporary gains right now. If we're able to sustain it, I don't know. Okay. We'll have to see how we handle ourselves near that 200-day moving average. I think 77K is going to be the boss level. That's where I'm going to be looking for shorts on Bitcoin, is at 77K if we get up there. Okay. So there you go. That's my analysis there on crypto and Bitcoin. I hope you guys had a good night, good stream. I hope you guys get into some good trades here. I'm really glad I got into the SpaceX IPO on Friday here. Okay. Currently, I'm trying to long River. I'm not sure if I got the best price on that long. Hopefully I'm still on that long. If not, if crypto does go down temporarily tonight, I'll be on the lookout to try to get back into the long on River, unless I find something better than River. But yeah, if you guys look at River real quick, let me just see what River looks like before I leave the live stream. I mean, River's already been beaten down. Okay. The only thing here that has me a little bit worried that there is a short signal that came in, so I might have been getting a little bit too early on long in River. But yeah, I was like, all right, we got a double bottom here, possible triple bottom here. This thing might want to lift off if things get positive here for crypto. But I don't know. It may or may not play out. It may or may not play out. But I'm looking to long River here, and I think I was trying to take profit at the point of control at 666. 666 is my target here for River. Okay, using the VRVP indicator. Okay. All right, but anyways, I hope you guys get in some good trades. Hope you get into better trades than I can. Not saying I'm the best trader here, but I think I do pretty well for myself. At least I do the swing trading and long-term investing pretty well. But as far as like day trading goes, we'll see. We'll see. You know, we'll see if I'm able to stay in the long on River. If not, I might try to long it one more time. The other candle with the lows here at 434, and put the stop loss really tight so I don't have to lose too much money. But if River does cash those bids, I think you know, we could have a pretty good percentage gain. Let's see. If I just measure this out real quick here, and giving you like guys like one little bonus play here. This is the trade that I'm trying to get into. I'm trying to long River right now, but getting up to that POC, you'll be up 38%, and you put your stop loss at like 430. You're risking 7%, trying to get 38%. That's like a 6-to-1, or last time I checked, it was like a 7-to-1 risk-reward ratio there. Positive thinking says, bro, my VRVP, value high, value low, POC is not stable in daily time frame. It moves when scrolling the mouse. Yeah, so it's a VRVP, so it's going to move every time you move the chart, because it's now gathering more data, and it will change on you, okay? But if you want to do the fixed volume range, volume profile, that should be over here to the left here, okay? Let's see, where is it? This is the fixed range volume profile. I don't really use the fixed range volume profile too much, but it should be over here on the left. Let me see if I can find it real quick here for you. Yeah, it's right here, okay? Fixed range volume profile. You can do something like that where you're measuring just a fixed range. That's not going to change on you, okay? But that we'll have to save for another time. I'm trying to end the live stream and get the rest of my night here going here, okay? But yeah, the visual range volume profile is kind of like a variable indicator, so it's going to change based on whatever variables you got. And if you keep changing your chart and you're moving the chart around, it's going to move the VRVP indicator around as well, okay? So you'll see your POC, you'll see your value area low, and you'll see your value area high change for the most part. I like to get, you know, when I'm on the daily time frame, I like to get like the last 3 or 4 months as data here on the chart, because I feel like that's a good amount of data to get what I need here. And you can see that, you know, point of control here, 663 here for River, okay? But if you scroll back to like, you know, a year ago, it's going to change. But for the most part, it's not really changed. It looks like 640, 650 is the POC here. If you look at data going all the way back to like November of last year for River here. All right, guys, that's it for the live stream. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Take care, and don't forget to say hi to me in the Discord. The link is in the description to this YouTube video that you're watching, and it's also in the bio page on my TikTok. Right? If you go to TikTok here, guys, there's the Discord link. You can say hi to me and continue the conversation there. If you're not able to click on that, you can click on the Linktree link, and that will take you over to the Linktree. You click on that Meet Damien Discord server. It'll give you the invitation to join the Discord. And then you can come see me here on the Meet Damien Discord, where we're over here talking about our trades and everything that we're getting into. You'll also see when I go live and posting up the live streams as well as some funny memes and all the stuff here, okay? But yeah, guys, that's it for the Meet Damien channel live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Take care.